Welcome back, dear viewers, with curious minds. Today, we journey into the golden age of individual scientific endeavor, the 17th century, where philosophy, medicine, and experimentation converged in profound ways. So in this video on 17th century medicine second part, we see the contributions of these very important revolutionary individuals who were philosophers, physicians, scientists like William Harvey, Rene Descartes, Francis Bacon, and Francis Sylvius. So let's see their contributions. William Harvey, the birth year 1578 and the year he passed away 1657. An English physician, immense contributions to anatomy and physiology, and discoverer of systemic circulation. Before Harvey, blood circulation was cloaked in mystery. Many believed blood was consumed and replenished like a fuel. William Harvey, with relentless experimentation, proved that blood flows in a continuous loop, dispelled the myths, and transformed medicine. He is known as father of experimental medicine. In 1628, his groundbreaking work De Motu Cordis described how blood is propelled by heart through arteries and returned via veins. A true revolution compared to Gallen's centuries-old views. The obstetricians knew him as father of midwifery too. He went to Padua, a center for learning to which flocked the rich and poor. He joined the staff of St. Bartholomew Coso Hospital as a researcher in anatomy and surgery. He spent his time in doing research on circulation in 1616. In 1628, his classic work De Motu Cordis, in which he described circulation and was a revolutionary concept compared to Galen's. He proved with experiment that blood is expelled out by left ventricle through aorta and was distributed by the arterial system to all the parts of the body. It was then carried by the veins to the right atrium and from there to right ventricle. It was then propelled by the right ventricle through the pulmonary artery and its branches into the lungs, transformed into arterial blood. After passing through pulmonary veins, it entered the left atrium and then returned to the left ventricle. The blood was therefore in constant motion and circulation. He did minute observations and experiments. He got violent opposition from Jean Rollin and Guy of Paris, labeled it as paradoxical, useless, false, impossible, absurd, harmful. Thus, these individuals opposed the systemic circulation theory given by William Harvey. But he was strongly defended by physicians from England, France, Germany, Holland, who proved him correct. His greatest defenders was Rene Descartes, who in his treatise in philosophy stated, Blood in the body was in state of perpetual circulation. His great work was on embryology. He postulated correctly the theory of epigenesis, stating all living beings develop from egg. He died in 1657 in his brother's country home. His books and possessions were donated to the Royal College of Physicians and to fund a library to establish annual Harverian oration in his honor. René Descartes, a French philosopher, a scientist, a mathematician. His birth year 1596 and the year he passed away 1650. More than a philosopher, Descartes shaped medical thinking by introducing mathematical precision into scientific inquiry. He was a philosopher and mathematician by profession. He was influenced by Galileo, who was the first to introduce mathematics into science. He has been also called the Oracle of France. The effect of Cartesian philosophy was there on medical science. The main theme behind his philosophy was mind and matter constituted the universe. There was connection between them. He conceived soul was lying in pineal body. His first substantial work was Regulae or Rules for the direction of mind. This work shows Descartes' interest in method, which he shared with many 16th and 17th century scientists, mathematicians and philosophers. Descartes founded analytical geometry that bridged between algebra and geometry. His strong belief that mind and body interact through pineal gland brought physiology, psychology and ethics into one conversation. He was convinced that the discovery of the proper method is the key to the scientific advancement. He published 3 essays on mathematical and scientific subjects and a discourse on method. Descartes' next work was Meditations de Prima Philosophia, Meditation on First Philosophy. This short work was more metaphysical than scientific. He produced the Principles of Philosophy. His last work, Passions of the Soul, written as a result of the correspondence which he carried on with Princess Elizabeth of Bohemia. It deals with the questions like how the soul could interact with the body. His work is combination of psychology, physiology and ethics. The pineal gland is the seat of soul, for it was the only part of brain that was not double. Now we come to the contributions of Lord Francis Bacon, the birth year 1561 and he passed away in 1626. He was a philosopher, English statesman and Attorney General. Lord Bacon didn't dissect bodies, but he dissected ideas. He strongly rejected blind faith in authority and urged a bold inductive method based on experience and observations. Thus, all of us, we know He was the father of objective and realistic tradition in modern philosophy, and he indicated method of inquiry. Bacon inspired men to think, for researchers to make experiments and to hold fast to facts. He revived Platonic method of reasoning in his book Novum Organum. He asked men to leave the four popular thoughts, such as accepted authority, popular opinion, legal bias, and personal prejudice. All these 4 points, he asked men to leave these four popular thoughts and insisted on observation and experimentation. He advocated them by the inductive method of reasoning based upon experience, for it requires inductive method of reasoning requires these 4 points: exact observation, correct interpretation, rational explanation, and scientific construction. So facts must be observed accurately, understand them in relation to each other and to their cause. He analyzed facts are to be verified, rectified, confirmed to raise it to a standard of law. Thus, the last point of scientific construction indicates the construction of law. Lord Bacon emphasized on realization of truth. Dr. Hahnemann may have borrowed the name of his book Organon of Medicine from Lord Bacon's book Novum Organum. Bacon's writings were as follows. His first work was Advancement of Learning in 1605. His second work, Novum Organum, New Organ of or Instrument for the Reconstruction and Advancement of Science. It was a part of his larger philosophical work known as Instauratio Magna in 2 parts, Novum Organum and De Augmentis Scientiarum. It was an expansion of his 1605 work. Apothegms came out in 1624. His aphoristic essays were continually worked on between 1597 and 1625. His final work, The World, came out 3 years after his death. It is believed that Dr. Hahnemann had been influenced by Lord Francis Bacon's writings and his method of inductive reasoning. Next we see Franciscus Sylvius, the birth year 1614 and he passed away in 1672, a physician, a physiologist, an anatomist and chemist. He is the founder of the iatrochemical school. Sylvius viewed diseases through the lens of chemical reactions, an idea ahead of his times. Thus, founder of iatrochemical school of medicine means all the phenomena in the life and disease are based on chemical action. His studies shifted medicine from mystical to speculation to rational application of laws of physics and chemistry. He researched the structure of the brain and discovered the cleft in the brain known as Sylvian fissure. He introduced word instructions to medical students. He founded iatrochemical school of medicine. The most important work he published was that new idea in medical practice. He was one of the earliest defenders of circulation of blood in Holland. He was the first person to successfully distill beverage alcohol, then known as aqua vitae. Distilled spirits were first used for medicinal purposes. He developed drugs to counteract chemical imbalances in the body. Now we'll see the contribution of Thomas Willis. Birth year 1621 and passed away in 1675. Thomas Willis is always remembered for his discovery of circle of Willis. So circle of Willis is in the brain circle. It is in the brain where circle of arteries at the base of brain. He has played important role in anatomy, neurology, psychiatry and physiology. And Isaac Newton, from the 1643 till 1727 is his lifespan. He is the key figure in scientific revolution. Although Newton has no contribution directly in the field of medicine, but he is a very important key figure in the 17th century and brought a scientific revolution for the discovery of law of gravitation. He is remembered as English polymath, having extensive knowledge in the various fields, active as mathematician, physicist, astronomer, alchemist and theologian. All these trailblazers weren't just thinkers, they were risk takers who trusted observation over tradition. So, all of us would be like them. Let's stay curious, question boldly, and never stop learning. I hope you enjoyed this video on the 17th century second part with all these very important contributors who have given their groundbreaking discoveries. Do like, share and comment. Thank you.